We were just showing how to do buttonholes on the Singer Tradition sewing machine, but now let's talk about how to sew buttons on. You do have the button sew on foot that comes with this machine, kind of the foot with the two little blue grips, and as it attaches, it's going to sit on our button, allow us to do a zigzag. So let's go ahead and turn to a zigzag stitch. The length we want 0 because we don't want it to move through, we want it to go back and forth in the same holes. And then your stitch width is key. Most buttons, the eyes, are about 3.5 to 4 millimeters apart. So we're going to start by setting it here. I'll test the swing of the needle before we stitch, but that should be about where we need to be. And we had reduced the tension from earlier on the buttonhole, so I'm going to put that back to normal. So the foot itself, as we change it, touch the little lever in the back to release your regular foot, and then the button foot, I know it kind of looks funny, but once you get it on and you can see its benefits. Now if it doesn't actually want to attach, touch the lever in the back. That will click itself into position. Now there is that darning plate cover. Let me get that for you. This one here, that's sometimes used instead of dropping the feed dogs. But I have found that sometimes there's not a lot of room between the plate that covers up the feed dogs and the foot for the button. So I'm going to just leave that out and put the stitch length to 0 so we don't have to worry about the feed dogs going anywhere. Okay, so what we're looking for right now, my needle looks like it's coming down on the right side. That's just because that's the side it is. It's not, sometimes it's going to be on the left, sometimes it's going to be on the right. So you need to just check. So I'm going to bring the needle down into one of the holes, the right hole for example on this one, lower the presser foot. Now that foot is sitting on the button, and now I'm going to by hand turn the hand wheel towards us and just make sure the needle goes into the other hole and doesn't hit or break the needle, or button for that matter. All right, just go back and forth a couple times, usually 6 to 10 stitches is going to hold that on nicely. This was a 4-hole buttonhole, so I did the front 2 first, and now I'm going to just go ahead, move it back, test both swings of the needle, and then continue to stitch. And before I know it, my buttons are stitched in place thanks to a foot I can see into, and it is perfect. So a little fray check if you're ever wondering if that button is going to come loose. That is one way to hold it in position forever.